Hello everyone, this is HD. It's not full HD yet because I haven't got any sort of software that can edit this, so this is going to be a complete run through. Okay, so in honour of going HD and hopefully having better quality, I'm going to use lots of HD products. This is a foundation that was sent to me by Coastal Scents. Now they sent me all 14 shades and this is shade number 10, which is the best one for me. But I think the benefit of being given so many shades is I can now sort of mix to whatever colour I want. So I'm using a big old stippling brush to apply a nice light layer to the face. The look I'm going to do today is the one from my November favourites video, which was just an everyday look. It's very quick, which is good. I do like this foundation, it's lovely and light and it is a nice colour on me, and I guess with 14 shades you can mix and match to find your perfect one. So I think what I'd do is probably take a bit of a lighter and darker when this one runs out. So I've just given myself a nice sort of light sort of stipple all over. I'm just going to take a smaller sized amount of that and just concentrate on areas that need a bit of extra coverage. So this is a bit daunting for me because you know, it's really good quality and I'm used to a not very good quality camera which hides lots of flaws. It's better than airbrushing having a low quality camera. So there we go, just gone all over the face. And now for a bit of concealing. That go back into focus. This is a MAC, it's called the Studio Finish Concealer Palette. I use the light one under the eye. And that just gives me a nice touch up, hides any darkness. It's really good colours for me. I've not gone too light, this is probably one tiny shade over my natural colour. Just over the eye, around the nose where we have redness, sides of the mouth, any spots, which there are enough of those. So really it's just about using the right level of product where you need it. Got a few sort of scars. They do fade, but in the meantime I will cover them up. Now the other great thing about having a palette like this is you can use it for subtle contouring. So I'm going to take the darkest shade and place a stripe of that directly under the cheekbone, just like that, and it really is just a couple of shades darker, but you can see what that's doing. So I've just worked that in, and I'm going to take a sponge and take the flat edge and work downwards, and that is how you blend to get that. So what I want is a natural contour. I also use this darker contour to sharpen the angles on my face. My face is quite round, so I've just placed some in the temples and I'm going to sweep that backwards, and that gives me a hollow right where I want it. So you can do all of this with a concealer palette and it's a lot better. I'm just going to put some of that light concealer over the eyes. You can see my eyes are very different shapes. One is more prominent than the other. One is more deep set. So I'm just trying to even those out a bit better. Doesn't help with the weird angle of this camera, but never mind. Then take that deeper one and I'm going to go into the crease and just deepen that out a bit. There we are. So So you can do all of this with shadows, but you don't have to. You can do it with concealers. A bit of the light concealer on my chin, to make my chin look a bit pointier. Dark concealer along the jawline, just to sharpen that jawline a bit. And then blend. Got a damp sponge here, and I'm just blending. Now the last thing to do, a bit of a lighter concealer on the top of the cheekbones. So all of this you can do in the morning. Now the one thing I've forgotten is some blush. This is the Bobbi Brown, and this one is in Velvet Plum. I'm just going to take a bit of that, pop that on the cheekbone, like this, and blend with fingers or sponge. I do prefer a finger though. It's a lot easier to get it just right, especially with the consistency of this. And I'm just putting that on the cheekbone. I don't like blusher in the middle of my face, it looks a bit strange. There we are. So that's all I did. And then I'm going to set that with some HD powder from e.l.f. So I've just got a bit on this poof. Tap off the poof so you don't have too much, and liberally tap onto the face to lock that down. Bit more. There we go. Now I'm just going to take a big sort of fluffy brush. I've pressed that in, but sometimes there's still excess that you don't want, because in photographs it will make you look a bit grey. So I'm just tapping that away, taking away any excess and any feeling of stickiness. Sorry, this keeps going out of focus. Nothing I can do about that. So there we go, we have a bit of a sort of flawless base going on. That is how easy it is. It's really not difficult at all. I'll just move those things to one side. And now I'm just going to do something really simple on the eyes. A couple of people asked what the sort of the dark brown was, and it's this one, which is called Pebble, and it's one of the e.l.f. Studio ones. Now the e.l.f. Studio eyeshadows, I mean, they're not, I wouldn't say they were exciting, you know, there's no bold colours, but they are wonderful for everyday wear. You know, this one is quite matte, perfect really for an everyday look, because not everyone wants shimmer all the time. I certainly don't wear shimmer all the time, simply because with prominent eyes it just makes them look a bit googly, and I'm aware of that. So all I'm doing is I'm working that over the eyelid and then blending slightly upwards. So I always wear my eyeshadow just peeping up above the lash line like this. And I have to say, these are nice soft shadows, very different to the other eyeshadows that I've tried, the quads and so on. They are quite powdery, so it's just best to build it up really. You can see that's looking nice. Quite a few shades to choose from as well. So that's all I was going to do on the eyes. It's really not a lot. You can just keep building up that colour just to deepen it. You can use a base if you want to sort of accentuate that colour, but because I've used concealer and powder, that kind of helps to keep it in place. And just spend time blending to get the right shape. And then I sort of tidy up underneath with that concealer brush, just to give me that shape that I want. I'm going to use a purple liner today because I do like this. This is an NYX. and it just gives a really nice colour. Just underneath, a hint of colour. And then a tiny bit of brown pencil on the outer corners. Just helps to make the eye look more defined. Because just putting shadow on can just look a bit dusty, like this. Now I'm going to finish off with a spot of mascara. Don't forget to curl those lashes. It's hard to do this actually, because normally I stop if I need to pick something up, but I can't with this. I've just got to keep going, or it will end up as two separate files. There we go. There's a good clamp. This is MAC Splashproof, so it's waterproof. This is a good all-rounder really. It does define and volumise, and also lengthens. Like so. That's good. Bit on the lower lash. Now don't forget to do your eyebrows. You can use a pencil or a kit, whatever you want to. I'm just going to use a pencil for this. And I just fill in the bits that are looking a bit sparse. Then add a bit of shape. I think my eyebrows are in need of a trim, getting a bit long. And finally on the lips, this is a little MAC and it's called Spiceflower. So that is a really quick, lovely sort of day look. I do like the way that there's a slight shimmer to this brown, but the most important thing is having that lovely HD finish. So I hope you like that. Oh, and if you're wondering what these blue things are, they're little scraps of Velcro that help to keep my hair back. And I keep looking over there because that's where my viewfinder is. I should look here so I can talk to you. Well, thank you for watching. That was my whistle stop tour of HD, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. I can turn it off.